Hello, everybody. LeRon Dawkins here from the Crossroads PlayStation Show, and welcome to a new episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Hey there, how's it going? What's up? At That Retro Crowd's with me today. How you doing, Ed?
I am doing good. I've been reading Rainbowing these monsters and Monster Hunter, and I just enjoy this game. Have some fun.
Senpai's impressed. How's it?
Dude, I've been flying around with my insect glaive. Well, I actually put on my Twitter page today. I'm like reading Rainbowing foes, because it's just like when you think of the theme song, uh, just being flying anywhere. I'm like with your insect glaive, you pretty much fly anywhere. And then I actually was talking to another person who's a hunter who loves the insect glaive, and it was just like, if you think about the theme song Reading Rainbow, you could be anything. You could go anywhere. Like, if you work at it, you could be all of this stuff. So I've been enjoying
Uh,
it.
uh, all right. So how's the week been going for you so far?
Oh, that Indie World Showcase was amazing. If y'all been,
Oh,
if people were disappointed with the Nintendo Direct State of Play and all that other stuff, you would not be disappointed with this Indie World Showcase.
okay.
So
Take a moment and talk about it because we're not actually going to break that down on today's episode because honestly, if you guys need to know the entire breakdown of it, Ed, didn't you do an article on the
yes,
BossRushGames.com and also Power Block? You guys are going to be breaking it down this week coming up, right?
yes.
Or did that already happen?
No, we're going to be breaking it down this week, talking about some of our favorites, some new stuff. There's a lot of new stuff. Trying to figure out how in the heck is Fast on Nintendo Switch,
Hey,
because
don't. I don't know. Don't knock it, man. Like I
oh
mean,
no, I'm not
I
knocking
I
it.
was I was celebrating it considering the tumultuous ordeal that the
Exactly.
developer went through.
And that's the thing about it. We were just like, wait, Fast is. I'm like, okay, this indie directors, and I was ready for the surprise to come. When I seen Fast as the last game, I was just like, wait a minute, who owned the rights to this, and could this possibly lead to a sequel?
Well,
Because of
well
because I the Indy the movie, like all of that drama stuff, and I knew he left games, but I'm
yeah.
just like, what is disappearing? And my friend Larry, he told me that it was on Epic Games, I think a while back, but I'm like, to
hmm
see Fest on Switch, if there's a possibility of this game being on Switch, and
I
this
will.
game,
I will be honest with you. Back when I first bought a Switch, I thought the game was already on the Switch. I'll be honest with you because Fez looks like a universal indie title that should be on every console. Of course, I have it for PS4 because it was a free
Mhm.
game for PlayStation Plus. I have it for PS4, but I thought a game like this. I thought it was already on the Switch, so my jaw hit the floor when I saw the announcement for it.
Right, because and I was just wondering. I'm like, who? I'm like, did he partner up with somebody? Did someone buy the rights to this? I'm like, what is going on with this game
No,
being on
the
Switch?
publisher has all the rights. I'm just hoping Homeboy gets still collects royalties from it. You were talking about it. Who was the creator for Fez? What was the guy's name? Phil Fish. Yeah. Oh God,
Yeah,
Phil Fish. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm hoping he's still getting freaking royalties for this man because I mean, yeah, like we just said, like he bowed out of the industry after all the controversy about the game.
And
Uh,
was the controversy about? Because I just wanted to try to remind myself. Was it about the bugs that was in the game, or was it just people wanted a sequel to it?
Let's see. Let's see. Phil Fish, the creator of the celebrated indie video game Fez, is notorious for voicing angry, controversial opinions about the state of video games and their development. Today, however, he seems to have rage quit on the entire gaming community and has taken the sequel to Fez down with him. On his Twitter account and on developer Polytron's website, Fish announced that Fez 2 has been canceled. Let's see. This is on The Verge, and it looks like they got their information off of Polygon and Joystick. I'm putting a link in the
Hmm.
chat for you guys right now if you want to check it out. Um, Polygon and Joystick both independently confirmed that with Fish, that is not a joke. The game is no more. Developer Polytron also confirmed the cancellation in a tweet to his followers, writing, "We apologize for your disappointment. What happened is not clear." And Fish writes that it isn't the result of any one thing, but the game's cancellation did come at the end of an unprecedented tussle on Twitter, which there's a hyperlink for that. So I don't want to read that Twitter chain, because you know how reading Twitter chains can get you.
Yeah.
But everything that I've heard in paraphrasing just shows an ultimate distrust and disapproval from on Fish's side. I mean, from Fish to the companies that he was collaborating with to get his games off the ground. That that's about the best I can paraphrase it without actually like going into real deep details of the show, because I mean we need to start the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead, LeRon.
All right, this is the Boss Rush podcast, the flagship show of the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we are live on Twitch to come together with our friends from around the internet to talk about the games and everything we love about them. Currently, if you are listening or watching to the Boss Rush podcast, it is being presented to you from twitch.tv/Exodus803. But that is just a temporary home for the time being, because its normal home is on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games Live. So just remember that. Just park that. You can follow us on Twitter at the Boss Rush Network. I'm sorry, I said there's no the in there. Just at Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Email the show at bossrushnetwork@gmail.com and join the Boss Rush Network Discord. Remember, you can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast apps every Monday. Remember to leave us a nice review and a 5-star rating, and you can catch everything from the Boss Rush Network at bossrushgames.com. So, Ed, how's your week been? It's Saturday. How's your week been?
I actually got to try Thai food Thursday.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So, my journey, I would say, I planned it. I was gonna go to Chicago to see if I could go somewhere, but due to the fact that they have protests and things are going on in the city at this time, I was able to find a Thai place that was like 18 minutes from me. I'm like, oh, okay. The weird thing was it looked like a Mexican restaurant. I was just like, wait, this is not right.
Is it
But
is this Thai, or is this what, Timex? What is it?
I don't know. But I ordered some pot stickers. I had chicken and beef pad thai. And I had chicken with extra beef fried rice. Um, I love the fried rice. I
Oh yeah.
really enjoyed the fried rice.
Which type of fried rice did you have?
Um, it just said chicken and beef fried rice.
Okay.
That's all
Okay.
it said.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Yeah, they basically have Thai fried rice is essentially like just like everybody else's fried rice, but there's their own flavor to it. Did it have any heat to it?
um, it not really.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I think you have to ask for it.
You know what? Probably so, because it tasted a little bit like Mexican rice without the kick to it,
Mhm.
and it wasn't brown or anything. It had that orange kind of look to it, but it was really good because it was really good. I had no problems with it. Um, excuse me. For the pad thai though, I wasn't into it. I wasn't feeling it, and
Okay.
it's
Now
because
pad
it's
thai.
so.
Okay, so pad thai is entry level Thai food. Like, as a matter of fact, most people will always automatically recommend, if you do not know anything about Thai food, do the pad thai as your first round. Okay, so tell me tell me why you weren't feeling it.
I wasn't feeling it because of the noodles, for some
Okay,
reason.
okay.
Um, and I think
Is it the
I
cook of the noodles, or you just didn't like that type of noodle? Because I'm not
I
mistaken,
I
it's like the flat, almost egg noodles,
yeah,
except they're long except they're the long ones.
they weren't long. They were all cut short.
How short?
So they was like maybe
Because typically,
yeah. So
typically
you know
most pad
it
thais, like the noodles are the same length as like a regular spaghetti noodle. It's the
okay.
same length.
So it wasn't a spaghetti noodle. That was the thing about it. So you know when in my everybody just follow me on this. Going back to my sunrise. You know when you get that little bug and it gives you like 3+ extra energy or
Yeah.
uh that shape. It's that kind of diagonal diamond shape.
Uh huh.
That's the size of. That's how the noodles was looking. Um, and
Mm.
so it was just like I was expecting like lo mein spaghetti or some kind of noodle with that because it sounded like that's what it was fitting when I was thinking of noodle.
Uh,
This looked like some. I'm like this looked like some Italian food thrown in some wrong sauce, and I was
uh,
just like,
uh,
this, and it was because of it was I think it was because of the way that it looked. I'm like, it's good, it's
mhm,
fine, I have no problem with it, but I
mhm.
think I was so blown away, definitely with their pot stickers. I have that sweet and sour ginger sauce that they serve at this place. I'm like, oh, I don't need to just order the fried rice and the pot stickers, because this is bomb. That I've never tried any kind of sauce like that, and it was
Oh
bombastic.
yeah, the sauces that they have for their pot stickers and their appetizers are amazing.
Oh, I, my pot stickers was gone, but within 3 minutes, and I was just like, I should have ordered another one.
Well, I mean, pot stickers don't last a chance with me either. So I don't fault you on that. Okay,
And
so for me, pad thai is okay, but my thing is like I'm kind of weird about peanuts in my food.
they didn't have no peanuts.
It didn't have no peanuts. Okay, okay, traditional pad thai is supposed to have crushed peanuts in it. Now, I'm not saying it's supposed to be like just like swimming in crushed peanuts, but it's supposed to have a decent like like smattering of peanuts in it and stuff like that. Okay,
Mm.
so I feel like you didn't get the full Thai experience, but hey, you did get an experience, and I can't fault you for that. So maybe the next time you get Thai from another place, like it's just gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, I think I found like there's two other places in that same city.
Mm-hmm.
It may be like a little
Good.
further stuff. Um,
Because when you said you live out in Chicago and they don't have Thai restaurants, I was like, no, no. I
because I
can.
told you I was just like I live in North Chicago. Everybody think it's the north side of Chicago. I'm like, no, it's its own city.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But I feel like I'm not saying like Thai food is common, but
Mhm.
I feel like every city has at least one or two Thai restaurants.
Yeah, I guess now Libertyville that I'm close to, they have one. And I was just like, oh, okay,
They
I
have a Thai adjacent restaurant at least.
yes. But I think I'm gonna try some other places and try their fried rice pot stickers and their pad thai. Like I think I'm gonna try other places and see what I get before I move on to doing curry. Um, because I was going through everybody's recommendation. I was going to hit you up, but I was like, LeRon is probably busy. Um, to recommend what should I go with and
Mhm.
everything. Um,
Oh, honestly, if you had hit me up, I would tell you to try the pad thai. But now I'm kind of glad that you tried it on your own, and I didn't have to recommend it because it sounds like passable pad thai, but
mhm.
it doesn't sound like pad thai that I would have really loved to have stood behind.
Yeah, and
But
like,
oh, I'm sorry, but I will say this. My next recommendation. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite noodle dishes from a Thai place. It's called Pad See Ew. PADSEEEW. Uh, it is
someone recommended it in the
yes,
chat in our Discord that you guys really go to Mark
yes.
Risque's Discord, and I didn't see it on the menu. So I think
Okay.
if I go to another place, if I see it, I'm doing it.
Now, I'm not sure how much you like. I'm not sure how well you are with spicy food. You talk about it a lot in the chat and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, now let me tell you something. Thai hot is a different type of hot from Southern hot and Mexican hot and Mexican hot. So depending on when they ask you how hot do you want it, and you ask them on a scale of 1 to how much, where do you go? If they say 1 to 5, I'm going to tell you right now, 4 is going to have you sweating. If they say 1 to 4, you need to pick a 3 or a 2.
Okay.
If you
So
pick
now,
it,
so in
if
other
you
words, don't let that food turn you to Charizard.
exactly, yeah. Because I I go to a lot of Thai restaurants with my friends, and depending on which ones we go to, if, like I said, if it's a 1 to 5 scale or a 1 to 4 scale, the server will look at me when they're taking the order. If someone at my table says, "Oh, I'll have the 5," or "I'll have the 4," they will look at me. So I mean, do you like your insides and do you like your butthole? After the meal's over, that's what you need to ask yourself. If
Okay.
anything, and I think some Thai restaurants will actually give you like a quick sample of what a food tastes like with one of those different temperatures. So if they are the nice ones and will actually give you a sample, be like, can I have like a small sample of what the four is or the five is or whatever, just to be sure because like Dan and I we hit up a Thai restaurant when he was in Richmond, down in my neck of the woods, and we ordered that restaurant was on a scale of 4. We ordered the 3, and we were like, man, this. I was like, man, if this is the 3, can you imagine if they had a 5?
Ooh, goodness. And the thing about this, as an Aries, I can't do spicy because if I'm born out of fire and adding more fire just makes it hot. So I think I'm going. If they do a 5, I'm going to go with a 3. If they do a 4, I'm going to go with a 2. If
Yeah,
they be like
yeah.
you only get if they do, we're gonna burn your soul out your body. Then I'm going to be like, well, I guess my soul is gonna be burnt because I'm doing it for taste to see how hot it is. Now, I will say this. I didn't have the runs or anything like that,
Mm,
but good googly moogly didn't put me to sleep.
okay, okay.
I dude, I was still tired the next day because of that fried rice.
Mm.
Like, like Jesus could have came up and be like, "It's been 3 days and you still haven't rose." I'm like, I'm still not that sleep. So I am going to look for more. I am going to write down what you said because a lot of people did recommend it in our Discord.
Mm.
And it was an experience, and I'm glad that I got to try it.
Well,
So
I'm,
that's
I'm
pretty
I'm
much
glad too. I'm glad too. So I mean, like, it was more like an introduction to Thai food, but now you need to get the actual formal introduction to Thai food.
yes.
So what games you been playing this week?
So, of course, Monster Hunter. I'm not gonna dive more into that. I've been playing Saga Frontier, and it's still a mess of a game of a PS1. So, it is what it is. The Dark Side Detective, A Fumble in the Dark. It's a comedic, point and click adventure game. It has this 8-bit kind of style.
Mhm.
Like flashback that was on Super Nintendo, but it's a little bit faster, so it's not bad. This game called Tohu Luna Nights. It's a Metroidvania game that was in early access on PC. It's kind of anime-ish with another still like 16-bit sprite, but it's kind of cool. Um, I did Aerial Knights Never Yield, the demo.
Okay.
Okay, great game. This demo has already sold me that I need to buy it. The soundtrack to this is going to be fire. The soundtrack alone may take my nomination for Game of the Year, music in a game for this year. And I really hope that you try it because this hip hop jazz beat sound that was kind of in the trailer is also in this demo. It's a take on the runner games. Where you press like the buttons or the control button, directional button to jump, slide, or do like a mid jump and stuff. And you do it to this nice track. And me and my good friend Matt, we was talking about it. I was just like, I need this album, and I think he is going to probably get the vinyl. Like I hope that he gets the vinyl. Like it's a really good really good demo, and just like I'm off for this game. And this they showed this in the indie direct, um or the indie world showcase, and people were just like, when it said that it was going to be a demo, people like downloaded it quick. And um really good showing. Like I really am enjoying it. With that, played a little game called Lost Words Beyond the Page. I'm having a problem with it, and I think the game is bugged because my character is moving on its own. Like I don't have drift in my pro controller. I don't
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, I don't have drift in my pro controller. I don't have drift on. I mean, I'm not using my Joy Cons, even though they're attached. Everything is controlling through my pro controller, and so sometimes it auto runs by itself, and I don't know what it is. The last two games, God Strike, which is a boss rush bullet hell shooter. that I just started. Got to do a little bit more. And last but not least, I started my run of Metroid on the Nintendo online because I've never got to beat the original Metroid on
Oh,
NES.
really?
Yes,
Oh,
so
really?
I am doing a run on it. I
Okay.
ain't playing it. I'm doing the original one on it, and I'm excited to play that game all the way and hopefully get my 4 Yoshi coins and stuff.
Metroid is still. Wait, you got you're gonna award yourself Yoshi coins off of the NES title?
It's part of the backwards challenge. Yeah, all first party.
Okay, okay.
You
Okay. I'm just saying, man. I
what?
mean,
All first, yeah, all first party games are 4 Yoshi coins.
okay, okay.
What?
No, nothing.
Come on, LeRon, explain. Give it to me. Explain.
Come on, dude. This is a 35-year-old game.
Right, right.
Maybe I didn't read the rules of the what's it called, the backlog game challenge. Maybe I didn't
Yeah,
read the rules correctly or whatnot.
yeah. The only thing that
I
you
thought it was
don't get.
game. I thought it was games in your
Only
existing library that you.
No, anything that is a backlog to you, anything that you haven't beaten or played is up for
Ah,
it's
okay.
up for play. You
Oh
just
God.
cannot just don't get anything that was released in 2021. That's a brand new game. So if Tekken 8 was released this year and you beat it all the way, you don't get no coins. But if Tekken 8 was released last year and anything before
Hmm.
2021,
Okay.
any game that you beat, you get some form of coins. Just
Okay.
arcade games and collection games, you just don't get. If you do collections, you got to be all that's on that collection.
Oh wait. So you wait. So like for example, like let's say just for purposes, right?
Mhm.
If the Metroid Prime trilogy came out, was already out, do you get
Yes,
credit for each individual game, or do you only get credit for the entire trilogy once you've beaten all three games from the trilogy?
you have to beat all 3 games on the trilogy.
Oh, see, this is why I'm not playing this game.
But if you had the GameCube version and you played Metroid Prime and you beat it, you get your 4 Yoshi coins.
Nobody has the GameCube version. Well, okay, let me stop that. That's arrogant presumption. I still have a bunch of my GameCube discs. I just don't have a way of playing them. So like, would I get credit if I get the Metroid Prime trilogy and then I beat Prime?
If
See.
you have to be if you get the see that's the thing about collections because they hold so many games and stuff. It would be unfair to award you 12 coins by playing a trilogy compared to because if you played the trilogy and I did the whole Mega Man collection, I have more coins than you. People might think that's unfair.
Well, hold
So
on.
I would rather
You've
you.
already hold on. You've already beaten a lot of those Mega Man games. I've never beaten any of the Metroid Prime games, but I own Metroid Prime One. I know that. I'll find my game. I know where it's in one of the boxes. I'll find my game. I don't have the original case for it anymore, but I still have the disc.
Right.
So, let's not do this.
We'll talk after.
Anything else? Anything else you playing? Anything else you
Oh
playing?
no, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Like my updates and stuff are done for my Xbox, so I'm going to be hopping on there a little bit later tonight and probably play some um cyber not cyber shadow
Because you already beat that
cyberpunk.
one, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, anyone that knows me knows there's only one game I'm playing right now. That's Monster Hunter Rise. I mean,
I
I'm
thought
not
it was
gonna.
Rich Racer.
Huh? Ridge
I thought
Racer?
it was, yeah.
I mean, I did get my Kaz Harai on, Ridge Racer 4.
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I'm like I've just been like knee deep in Monster Hunter Rise. Like anyone that knows me knows that when a new Monster Hunter game comes out, basically there are no other video games out. So I mean, it's gonna take a while for me to just jump, just like cold turkey quit or dead stop quit the Monster Hunter or the current Monster Hunter game until I know for sure like content is really slowing down on it. I mean, so we got Returnal coming out real soon. We'll have Ratchet and Clank real soon. We'll have Resident Evil 8 real soon. But like I mean, Monster Hunter is just going to be the fixture right now. I was playing last night with my buddy Galatrad from Hunters for Hire. Which, speaking of which, Hunters for Hire happens Wednesday nights at 8 usually at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the twitch.tv/xs803 channel. So check us out. It's a pure show based off of Monster Hunter, and I'm talking, and not just Rise, but the entire Monster Hunter series. So check it out. You get a chance.
I
Shameless
will
plug.
say I enjoyed your stream Thursday. That was
Thank
really
you.
fun.
Thank you. Oh, we officially have a theme song now, an intro song now. So yes, yes.
I gotta hear it. Can't wait.
Yep. But yeah. So just Monster Hunter Rise. Just been on that. Every now and then, if I need a distraction from Monster Hunter, I'll break out the Teppen mobile game that I always talk about every week because that's what I play when I don't want to have just a controller in my hand. I just pull out the phone or the tablet and just play that and stuff like that. But that's it for me. I know I'm boring. I'm only playing one game, but you know what? I learned this trick from Austin Campbell from Crossroads because Austin currently is playing one game at a time, but he's got an ulterior motive behind that. He plays one game at a time because he has a PS5, so he has to find hard drive space to play his next games. So he plays one game, he beats it, and he deletes it off his system and moves on. but now, but now with the new PlayStation update, now he can actually store the game on an external hard drive, so he doesn't have to delete it anymore.
And that's why when we had a discussion about the external hard drive about PlayStation, you like 3.0, I was just like, this is going to be the problem with me because I'm gonna get it and I'm going to go hog wild with PS5 games. I already know flash sales, digital sales, whatever Sony throws at me, I am a sucker for it. And I'll be like, I'm downloading this. I'm not doing backwards compatible for anything. I'd rather just get the PS5 version and call it a day. If I want to play backwards compatible, I have my PS4. So I just feel like I'm going to just rack up like $600 with ease on that system. When I get it, I'm talking about just in games alone.
Well, I get you. I wasn't just talking about the price tag of the system. I get you. Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of boring though because like I'm only playing Monster Hunter Rise, and like I've got Final Fantasy VII that's still in the rafters, that I started. I've got Cyberpunk still in the rafters that I've started. I've got Horizon Zero Dawn in the rafters that I started. Man, I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
And isn't the Resident Evil Village demo out, like the new one?
Not yet. Not yet. There's been no confirmation of it yet. All we know for sure is that like there's 4 different packet files that were found somewhere in the source code of the PlayStation Store. And
because they was just like PlayStation owners could download it now.
They can? Oh, but is it live? Is it live is the question, because like there's a lot of times they'll put games out there that you can pre-download even if they're demos, and it won't necessarily mean that you can actually start the game, like the timer hasn't started.
Yeah, you have to watch the showcase to get the times and stuff. And now
okay, Hyperion Overwatch in the chat just confirmed that demo is live.
Okay, because the thing about this, you only get 60 minutes.
I hate that. I really hate that.
Look, I was at home when I was watching it. I was just like, "Oh, LeRon is not going to like this."
Right? Yeah, you guys know me so well. My problem with timed demos is basically it means that unless they have a cutoff, like say you get to a certain scenario in the game and that's the end of the demo, that basically means it's the whole damn game. And they're limiting how far you can get and how fast you can do it and how fast you can do it by the fact that there is a clock that's just running. Because they did this. Was it Resident Evil? It was Resident Evil 2. The Resident Evil 2 remake demo did that.
Oh, really?
Pissed me all the way off.
Oh, see. Well, I think the first
Actually, no. The Resident Evil 2 demo was more insidious because you had an overall play timer, so like you could play through certain parts of it, and you could end the scenario, and then after a while, I think it had like a 5-hour timer. After 5 hours, you can no longer play the demo. So all your total gameplay after 5 hours, boom, you could no longer play the demo. On PC, people had to download trainers and mods to kill that timer.
Oh wow. Nintendo did a time one because they did it for Splatoon, they did it for Arms, but they had set times for like 4 hours to be like, okay, you guys can do this, and for 4 hours, everybody get this chance, and then we're taking it
I
offline. It we may have a discussion on demos on how it changed because like with demos earlier in the day, like the
I,
first demo I can actually think about was Mario Brothers 3
I can
on
answer you. I can answer this question for you. I can answer. I can answer how, why, and when demos changed. And this would be really quickly. That the how and the why demos change is because we now have people who can successfully data mine the game.
hmm
The when that changed, PS3 era, PS3 and Xbox 360 era. That's when it changed.
because of the digital format.
Yep.
Because we had so Mario Brothers 3, then we went to demo disc because of PlayStation 1. Um and then like you said, 360 PS3, we had those kind of demos and stuff. With Wii U, like even Bayonetta 2 had like 30 count play times that you could do. And
I
then it
can't
would cut off.
stand that either.
But it
Mm.
but it was something
Nintendo
new because
Nintendo gets on my nerves with that. That Monster Hunter
which
demo, the two Monster Hunter demos was oh, I love the
I
demos, but it was garbage.
now I will say this. That was the first time Nintendo has ever done something. The Monster Hunter
Wait, wait,
demo
wait,
was
wait, wait.
great.
The Monster Hunter ones was the first. Wait, are you talking about Bayonetta? Was the first time Nintendo done that?
Bayonetta, yeah, Bayonetta was the first because
No,
Nintendo never,
hold
hold
on.
on, hold on, because Nintendo never did demos for a game, and that was with, and don't forget this is with
Okay, okay,
Nintendo.
okay.
Nintendo never did demos, and if they did demos, it was on handheld or 3DS, and you got to get a little chunk of the game, and that was it.
Oh,
So
okay.
when
You know what? I will afford that. I will afford them that because everyone knows I'm pretty critical about Nintendo and their practices sometimes. So I'll afford them that. I won't. I won't give them. I'll only give them like an inch though. I'm not going to give them the whole mile.
yeah, that's completely fine. We'll take it. Because that Bayonetta 2 demo, because of so many delays and stuff, everybody wanted to play that game. That the first time they got through that whole one, because I still have it on my Wii U. That demo, when everybody got through that whole one, they was ready to buy the game,
Mhm,
and it turned out to be game of the year. Like this is the game that jumped platinum off.
mhm.
So now we got time demos and stuff like that, and yeah, the evolution for demos, it's been a wild ride and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah. All right. So you ready to get into these topics, man?
yes, let's get into these hot topics.
Okay. All right. Well, first up on the docket. I know it sounds like we're in court right now. First up on the docket today, we're going to talk about Square Enix and these claims of someone trying to buy them out. Yes, yes, we are. Square Enix had to publish a document on their website stating that the company had received no offers and was not considering selling any part of its business. Now then, uh, we're going to talk about this for a second because this came from the original news about Square Enix possibly being bought out came from, of course, Bloomberg.com.
But Bloomberg Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say that I wasn't gonna name names. I wasn't gonna name
Oh,
names. I wasn't gonna name a specific individual at Bloomberg. I was
that
not.
person, that Randy Pitchford Jr. We're not talking about him.
Randy Pitchford Jr.
We're gonna call him RPJ. For code name, everybody, we're gonna call him RPJ, and we're gonna leave it at
RPJ.
that.
I like it. I like it. The Crossroads. Crossroads. We're gonna adapt that.
Take it. It's all yours.
Okay, so I'm looking at the actual. It is literally it's only 3 lines, and this is an official statement from Square Enix Holdings Company Limited, and it states in today's media coverage. Bloomberg has reported today that there is interest from several buyers to acquire Square Enix. However, this report is not based on any announcement by Square Enix Holding Company Limited. We do not consider selling off the company or any part of its businesses. nor have we received any offer from any third party to acquire the company or any part of its businesses. So, for everybody who had held their breath, who was holding their breath, thinking that Square Enix was about to become a I guess a first party studio in like a major publishing company,
Mm-hmm.
you guys can breathe easy now.
Right.
Straight
I
from the horse's mouth. Square Enix is like, nobody's buying us and we're not selling.
I play some my brand of bisexuality on it.
No, no.
Bisexual. uh, and I was just like, this is not true. And we had a discussion in the Bossmas chat because Square Enix makes too much money. They have too much money. They
Mhm.
don't need to be brought out. First of all, Sony can't buy them because it's gonna cause a lot of turmoil and upset. How in the heck is Sony gonna be closing a lot of their Japanese studio after they know they're looking for like blockbuster games, and that's pretty much from the West, and you're gonna have this one Japanese company. Microsoft is not gonna buy them because Microsoft don't have a presence in Japan, and Square Enix needs Japan.
Mhm.
Truly, they need Japan. If Dragon Quest got stuck on Xbox in Japan for some a system that only probably have about 1,500 systems sold, no, that's not
Let's
going to happen. If
okay. In
anyone was,
in theory, though, let's say for one moment, Dragon Quest becomes just exclusive to Microsoft consoles.
yes,
That honestly, and I've said this a few times before, whenever the system gets disrupted, that's when real change happens. If Dragon Quest, a franchise that seems to do well on Nintendo and does somewhat well on Sony, if Dragon Quest all of a sudden became a Microsoft and Xbox exclusive, it would change some of the dynamics of how gaming is done over in Japan, because right now Nintendo has over 80% of the profit share in the
mm-hmm.
gaming industry.
You want to
I don't
know?
I don't
I
see that as being a bad thing. Like if some of these properties wound up becoming exclusives somewhere else, it would probably change the landscape of gaming in Japan. It would force them to be more unconventional, if that makes sense. Because from us Westerners looking at Japan, we feel like they are unconventional. Like they have
yes,
a gaming model built off of portable gaming. And
yes,
and I'm not gonna say there's anything bad with that. I mean, I love my Nintendo Switch. I love my 3DS before that. I love my Game Boy Advance before that. I love my Game Boy before that. But it was definitely a thing where like we saw that portable gaming was Nintendo's focus. Now, I'm not saying that Nintendo only focused on their portable and their handhelds, and they never focused
yes,
on their consoles, their mainstream consoles. I'm just saying Nintendo knew where their bread was buttered at. And I'm not even targeting Nintendo overall. It's just that Nintendo has so much of profit share that they're kind of the biggest target. They're the king of the hill over there.
yeah. And this is what. And now I'm going to counter your Dragon Quest being exclusive to Xbox. If Nintendo
Let's hear
walked
it.
into if Nintendo walked into Sega and be like, we want to fund your Fantasy Star 5 exclusively for Nintendo Switch. America, I don't know how UK is going to be, but America and Japan E3 shut down. No one would be talking about Dragon Quest being on Xbox. Fantasy Star 5, Nintendo Switch exclusive, Nintendo and Sega, that would shut
The
things
okay,
down.
okay,
Now, Final Fantasy
okay. I don't feel
15,
like I don't really feel like as a counter argument, because in all honesty, people thought that when people thought when
yes.
Fantasy Star Online after the Dreamcast shut down, Fantasy Star Online thrived on the GameCube. So this
Yes.
seems this seems like a match made in heaven. If Nintendo and Sega were to get into bed and completely just do Fantasy Star from now on a Nintendo platform, that uh, that honestly that feels like a no brainer.
But I think the talk and the hype would be like, wait, we're getting this a Fantasy Star? Because the thing about it is, like I said, Dragon Quest being exclusive to Microsoft, if Japan is not going to get it and there's upset, that's gonna hurt Square Enix business. That Sega Nintendo, if that this is hypothetical, that Sega Nintendo deal, if that happened for Fantasy Star, is going to raise the profits of Sega like crazy.
it
Now,
may
I'm
it may hurt Square Enix's business in the
mhm,
beginning. Like I guarantee you, the first one or two Dragon Quest titles may be sell like really badly, but this is how. this is how they would do it. This is how they can do it and score a win and
Yes.
actually increase the profit share overall in Japan. If they turn around, they tie their next. If let's say in the hypothetical world, Dragon Quest. What number are they on? The most current one is what, 13?
11.
Okay, Dragon Quest 11.
12. So
12.
12 is the next one.
12 is the next one coming soon, or is out now?
It's coming soon. It's
Okay.
in the process of being worked on.
So let's say, because I know Dragon Quest 8 was a big deal when it came out back in the
Oh
day.
yes, I love that
So
game.
imagine in a hypothetical world, imagine if a partnership happens, Dragon Quest becomes an Xbox exclusive, and then the
Hmm.
first Dragon Quest game they announce is a direct sequel to Dragon Quest 8.
You can't.
Why can't you?
3DS, Dragon Quest 9. Nintendo has that.
Was that a direct sequel, or was that just the next,
Yes,
or was that just the next game in the Dragon Quest
that was the
series? Because
next. That was
I thought the Dragon Quest games are not interconnected, really. Just like how Final Fantasy
yeah.
games
They're
used
not.
to be not interconnected.
Yeah, they're not interconnected. But like, are you speaking like Dragon Quest 8.2 or
Yeah,
8.5
something like
or
that. I
anything?
don't. Yeah, something
Okay,
like that. I don't care.
okay.
Like, I don't
Now,
like the next Dragon Quest game. It doesn't have to be called Dragon Quest a number game. Let's say Dragon Quest 8 was called Dawn of Fantasy.
yes. Okay, let's go with that. Run with that.
Then the exclusive game would be called Dragon Quest Dawn of Fantasy 2. Just imagine what would happen there.
Okay. If that's possible, yes, that would be a win for the West.
I think that would be.
Japan,
I think. I
Japan,
think
Japan.
Japan. I think Japan will get on board too. I feel like there's a. I feel like. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so possibility. Running with that. If XCloud is big in Japan, or
Wait.
not
XCOM. XCOM.
XCloud,
XCloud. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
XCloud gaming. Okay. The platform. The
XCloud,
platform.
right. If XCloud gets big on mobile in
Exactly.
Japan, I can see that working. Putting it on the Xbox console though for Series X or even Xbox One, I think that's what I'm trying to get at. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
the problem, the disconnect right there. XCloud though, I could see that happening big in Japan with Square Enix.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. I mean, I see the argument. Trust me, I see the argument, or this. Let's not say argument because we don't want people to think we're bickering. I see the discussion.
Now, I can say this. If we go back to the original thing of, let's say Square Enix was up for sale.
Uh-huh.
I already said Sony couldn't buy them. I already said Microsoft couldn't buy them. If they had to partner with anybody, I think Bandai Namco would buy them because
Bandai
Bandai
Namco is in
Namco
trouble
company.
though. Bandai Namco is in trouble right now though.
How? Are you serious?
They're not performing the stuff. As a matter of fact, they're not performing up to
Financially?
snuff right now. Well, I gotta look into it. So don't take too much what I'm saying. But Bandai Namco was in trouble a couple of years ago. And right now, the only thing that's kind of keeping them afloat for the most part is Tekken, and that's kind of a stretch, honestly, because I mean, and also Dragon Ball Fighters, because Soul Calibur is not doing well enough. They've already canceled. They haven't canceled plans, but they pretty much ended plans for any more seasonal update content, for Soul Calibur, and Dragon Ball Fighters still seems to be getting updates and stuff like that for the moment. And Tekken may or may not get one more because I think the company's ready to start developing for Tekken 8.
Because and I know Tale of Arise, people are waiting for that. I know
Yeah,
Bandai Namco has to be making some money from
they
Nintendo with Smash.
they're making money, but right now, like, let's just put it this way: if it's kind of like how the GameStop EB Games merger happened. EB
Oh.
Games EB Games stepped up to GameStop to acquire them, and something didn't
Mhm.
look right in their financials. So all of a sudden, GameStop says, "How about this? We want to do a merger. How about we get the majority share?" That would kind of
Right,
be
because
this. That would kind of be the same thing that would happen with Bandai and Square Enix. Like, it would wind up. It wouldn't work 100% in their favor. Bandai Namco would not become the parent company, if that makes sense.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! Now I have to actually research it. Now you put a thought in my mind because it's just like the same thing happened with Kobe Tecmo, which I'm surprised that Kobe was able to even do that with
Yeah, that's
Tecmo.
why it's called
Um,
Koei. That's why it's called Koei Tecmo.
Kobe
Tecmo
Tecmo,
wound Koei Tecmo wound, wait, was it Tecmo that got acquired by Koei, or was it Koei
Kobe,
got
Kobe
acquired by
acquired
Tecmo?
Kobe acquired Tecmo.
There we go. Yeah, same thing. Same thing.
Because and this also
Usually,
happens.
usually when those happen, it's because one company, the idea of the acquisition or the merger wants to happen, but one company isn't strong enough to become the parent company. That's why we
That's
have
why we
Bandai.
got Square Enix.
That's why we have Bandai Namco. That's why we have Square
Yeah,
Enix. Yeah,
yeah. Uh,
that's why we have Sega Sammy.
that one was weird.
That one was weird. That one was weird.
I was like, wait a minute. Sammy does a lot of arcade games, which is fine. That's cool and stuff. I know Sega was on the up and up at getting in the black when they dropped the Dreamcast and was making third became a third party because Sonic games on GameCube was doing like Sonic on Nintendo stuff was making them money.
Mm-hmm.
The DS Sonic games at $20 making them money. So how in the heck did they acquire Atlas? I'm like, wait a minute. Atlas is brought by Sega because everybody wanted Nintendo to buy Atlas, and
That's true.
why?
I remember that. Everyone did want Nintendo to buy Atlas. I remember
Yeah,
that.
why is it that Nintendo people want Nintendo to acquire a lot of studios in Japan? Like they wanted them to acquire Capcom. They kind of wanted to acquire them with Tecmo, and I think I already said this. I'm just like Nintendo is not trying to acquire companies because they rather work with them
Mm-hmm.
exclusively and fund them to get great games out.
I think the reason why everybody wants Nintendo to acquire all these Japanese companies is because like of our DNA with Nintendo.
Mhm.
Nintendo for the most part is everybody's first console platform. For the most part, like I mean, we're of a generation where we're actually like before there was Nintendo, there was Atari, ColecoVision, and television. We're of that. You and I, we're both of that generation. But
Yes.
but a lot of modern gamers are a lot of people who consider themselves modern gamers uh would have been would have basically they are pretty much they cut their teeth on Nintendo on the NES or the Super NES.
Mhm.
So a lot of people, a lot of modern gamers think that hey, like when Capcom's in trouble, Nintendo will rescue them. When Atlas is in trouble, Nintendo will rescue them. Stuff like that. That's just kind of a natural thing. But it's more the perception based off of what people know, and not so much of the entire landscape of gaming. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Namco is older than Nintendo.
Oh. Mm,
Namco? Wait, okay. Let me make sure. Let me because I remember when I wrote about the Pac-Man
are
anniversary.
we talking? Are we talking about video game wise, or are we talking about actual start of the company?
The start of the company.
Okay, Nintendo beats it out
How? How long? By how many years? Because I could have
100
sworn.
years. Because
No,
yeah, because
no.
Nintendo was 1892 or
Nint-
1898.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I really shouldn't argue with the. I shouldn't argue with the czar Pal block here.
But
Let's
don't
see.
forget, Nintendo was making uh was making was making cards and stuff. But they didn't start Nintendo as a company didn't start till almost 1898.
1889.
Oh, 89.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they for sure beat Namco. Namco is 1955.
I'm not trying to be the master because I'm like I
Oh,
know
oh,
they
oh, oh,
did.
shut up. You know what? Let's just move on to the next topic. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's wrap this topic up real fast. So, basically, like we said earlier, if you guys were worried that Square Enix was getting bought out by somebody, don't fret because Square Enix said they're not going anywhere. Besides, Square Enix has a lot of lucrative deals going on. They've got stuff going on with Nintendo right now. They've got stuff going on with Sony right now. I'm pretty sure they may have some stuff going on with Microsoft right now. Square Enix is in a good position right now. I
Yeah.
mean, and actually, we do know for a fact that Square Enix has some type of relationship with Microsoft because we've got more games from Square Enix coming to Game Pass, and some of them, like Outriders, for example, day one Game Pass. So yeah, so we know. So Square Enix is not in any type of trouble. They're not looking to be acquired. They're not looking to sell any part of the business right now, like they said in the statement. So there you go. If you guys want, feel free to continue the conversation with us about that. You can catch. We'll do plugs later, but feel free to
Yeah.
feel
uh,
free
to
to have
answer,
the conversation.
yeah, to answer your question with Corey and because y'all was talking about the Square Enix on title, they do.
Yep.
So and I can't have no one take my title away. I love their games. I'm an old school retro code game kind of guy. So yeah.
All right, so our next topic. This was hilarious when it started making the rounds on the internet. This was
Yes.
hilarious. All right, MLB The Show 21. The intro for the game reminds Xbox players that this is a PlayStation game. This comes to us from our friends at ScreenRant.com. Early access Xbox players. You know what? I was actually a little. I was fuming at this because everyone's talking about MLB The Show, like they're playing it right now, and I was like, oh, cool! I have Game Pass. Let's put up Game Pass. They have apparently console players have early access. Yeah. So, early access Xbox players have already gotten their hands on MLB The Show 21, and they say PlayStation indeed makes it known that MLB The Show 21 was a game developed by PlayStation Studios across all platforms, being the first ever Sony Interactive Entertainment developed game to come to an Xbox console. There were many questions leading up to launch about whether or not the PlayStation Studios logo would appear on the Xbox version, and the answer is a resounding yes.
Oh my
Ed,
goodness.
let's. I feel like this is going to be a quick one. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so of course it's gonna have PlayStation's logo on it. MLB the league don't have a gaming division. They don't have developers. So
Mm-hmm.
who do you think they're gonna do? That's like MLB going to Nintendo and be like, hey, King Griffey Jr. was a successful game on y'all system. We need you to put it on Xbox and Sony. We need you guys to make it. They're not gonna go to Japan and have Nintendo do that. Nintendo's gonna look at them crazy, be like, we don't even do this no more. Like we sold our shares of the Seattle company. So this is not surprising. Of course, Sony's gonna have their logo on it. They're the ones who developed the game. They're the
Mm-hmm.
ones who's putting it on Xbox due to MLB in the contract or whatever business deal that they make. So like no one, Microsoft don't even have a sports department besides Forza. Like so, why is everybody shocked about this? Like
I can tell you why. I can tell you why. This is remnants of the console wars. This is really what this is. They think just because like this game that's been universally a Sony game is now showing up on other platforms. They think that, don't get me wrong, if you want to use the mentality of console wars, this is a win. This is a win for you guys. You actually have an opportunity to play a game that was gated off to you guys. Like the only way you could actually play the game beforehand was to play it on a console that you would have to buy. So yeah, so take that as the win. But let's be honest with you, until the fact that uh, uh, that studio goes independent, is no longer owned by Nintendo. I mean, by Nintendo, by
Sony.
Sony. Like you just gotta face the reality. Like it's the luck of the draw that San Diego studio, which is owned by Sony, it's a luck of the draw that you're actually getting the capability to play it not just on a one competing platform, but all competing platforms. It's going to be on Stadia. It's going to be on Nintendo Switch real soon.
Next year.
Yeah, so take the win and stop being salty about the fact that you see the PlayStation logos, because guess what? Like Geek Bro 27 says in the chat right now, Microsoft logo is on the Switch games like Ori.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on Cuphead and everything, and
Exactly.
everybody
Yeah, like on the PlayStation, on the PS4 version of Cuphead, you see the Microsoft logo.
right, and it's just like it's no big deal. Yeah, Nintendo hasn't put their stuff out on anybody else's platforms, but hopefully they'll be open in the future to do that. Um, just
Nintendo.
seeing a
Hold on,
logo.
hold on, hold on. When I play like the mobile games, like the Fire Emblem game on the phone, when I play the Mario games on the phone and stuff like that, I see the Nintendo logo, and guess what? Nintendo only has a license to publish games on Android and iOS.
Right. Seeing Miyamoto walk on the stage at the Apple thing, at the Apple conference, we was like,
That was
whoa,
wild. That was
that's
wild.
craziness. And so it's not just seeing another company, first party, I should say, seeing another first party logo on another system. It's nothing, not saying it's nothing new, but it's nothing like too exciting or anything. Definitely when you've been calling for universal game for all the systems.
Right? Right? Oh, okay. Here's the bigger picture here that I don't think anyone's seeing. This opens the door for cross-platform play.
Yes.
This opens the door. Everyone has been crying for like the past 5 years or so. Why can't we play our games with our Xbox friends? Why can't we play our friends with our Nintendo friends? Why can't we play more games with PC? Stuff like that. This opens the door. This opens the door. When I feel like I don't want to say MLB The Show is an experiment, but I feel like this is one of the experiments that we need to happen
Yes.
to get gaming into a more diverse and interconnected ecosystem. If you have if this game is a success and cross-platform becomes a reality to where like, hey, I can play I'm on my Xbox Series S and I'm playing MLB The Show with my buddy who has a PS5. No problems, This means that games like Street Fighter will open up crossplay. The more and more games like freaking Street Fighter will open to cross platform. Monster Hunter will be cross platform.
Like, yes.
It,
Look, and even Nintendo, out of everybody, Nintendo encouraged crossplay
mm-hmm.
with other
Yeah,
stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
wait, this is a system that's been like exclusive that didn't really, for some people, they didn't really want to work nobody. But that whole dynamic changed where they're just like, yeah, you want to play this game with your PC family, go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play
Mm-hmm.
with Xbox, go right ahead. And it's like, it's supposed. This is exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I feel like for the most part, people are closed minded, and our very own Jesse Douglas, he's in the chat right now. He says that he doesn't think that anyone is mad. That it's just weird as being brought up because it's unusual. It's unusual, yes, but at the same time, I don't see it being that unusual because, like, okay, because for example, let's take this outside of video games, for example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the Spider-Man movies, the current Spider-Man movies are being produced on the Marvel platform, on the Marvel Studios platform. But guess what? You also see the Sony Studios logo.
Yes.
So I don't understand. I don't understand the disconnect here.
Look, if Marvel and DC could come together to do a war with their comics together, a 6-page issue back in the day,
Yeah.
this is nothing new. This is stuff that y'all been dreaming about. So y'all get in y'all dreams and y'all just trying to act all surprised. Just like gaming is changing right now nowadays. So enjoy the fact you're gonna get on the 23rd. You're gonna play this game on your Xbox. You're gonna connect with your friends on PlayStation. Someone's gonna win. Someone's gonna lose. You're a Cubs fan or whatever baseball team is. Y'all gonna have fun and y'all gonna call it a day.
There it is. I told you this was going to be a short topic. All right. So moving on. Our final news topic today is about Epic Games and its CEO. First of all, congratulations to the CEO of Epic Games, because the Epic Games CEO is now officially the richest man in North Carolina. Okay, first of all, I know that may or may not sound like the biggest deal. It's North Carolina, big whoop. It's not the United States. It's not North America. It's not the world. But from a certain standpoint, this is kind of a big deal because okay, I like capitalism. I believe in capitalism, but capitalism is not my thing, so I'm not trying to make it political and stuff like that. But this is kind of a big deal because as I said earlier about disruptions, like, we need the system to be disrupted. We can't always have the same individual being the richest person in this or the whatever this. We need disruption. This stuff like this breeds competition and it breeds innovation. And I am all here for it. So now that I've said all that, here's the meat of the article. This is brought to our friends at GameRant.com. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney surpasses SAS Institute co-founder James Goodnight as the richest man in the state of North Carolina, following Sony's investment in Epic Games. Reports published early in April seem to indicate that Goodnight, whose fortune is currently valued at $6.5 billion, would retain the title for the year 2021, despite developer Epic Games outperforming SAS among North Carolina-based businesses. Well, that's all changed. A recent report from Forbes indicates that Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney's wealth has surpassed that of Goodnight. A major investment in Epic Games by Sony caused Sweeney's assets to skyrocket to approximately $7.4 billion over the course of just a few weeks. Now, we're going to be talking about this more in depth on Crossroads this coming
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday. But basically, here's what it is. Epic Games is one of the fastest growing companies in recent years, having launched its own PC gaming platform and a new Unreal Engine after the massive success of Fortnite. The Sony Group Corporation has just invested $200 million of the overall $1 billion that was raised in Epic Games' most recent round of investments. Okay, so just to put this in perspective, Sony's $200 million boosted Epic Games' stock portfolio.
Yeah, and that has to deal. I personally believe with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
Me too.
like
I'm not even going to get into tech jargon about this this time. Not this time.
yeah. And what's surprising to me is I thought he would have been richer earlier because of how the use of Unreal Engine ever since 3. So
It's
I thought he would have, because 3 and 4, well, 4 is a janky mess. Um, I literally thought they, with so many companies and developer and all the licensing that is being done with Unreal Engine, that they would make, he would have already been enriched. He would have been enriched than Bobby Kotick from Activision. I don't know what his worth is. Um,
I don't know either. And right now I just looked up some information about the SAS Institute.
mhm.
The SAS Institute is an American multinational developer of analytics software based in Cary, North Carolina. SAS develops and markets a suite of analytics software, usually called SAS, which helps access, manage, analyze, and report on data to aid in decision making. Okay, so basically, just reading that alone, like the implications and the practicalities of the SAS suite
Mhm.
is worldwide. Gaming is, we say gaming is worldwide, but gaming is not that deep worldwide, not right now. So
Yes.
so this is a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah. Yeah. I Congratulations to him. I was just like, oh, you're the richest person in North Carolina. That
It sounds
uh
weird. It sounds weird.
it yeah, it does. I will say that. But yeah, congratulations, congrats. You know, you got a great, now you have a usable engine. You make some great games.
Mm.
Fortnite is getting a lot of, love and stuff. Everybody can't believe that it's still going. While PUBG is somewhere to be found. Um, yeah, congratulations to him. Like, I can't knock his hustle. I can't knock him for being a person who, like, him and his team and the people that invest in the work and stuff, that they have all of this going on for gaming. They're important to the industry. So yeah, congratulations to them. I will say this though. I feel like I'm scared to say this, but I
Mm.
feel like Square Enix Luminous engine is kind of going to be better than Unreal 5.
I have no
Because
comment. I have no comment.
I know I'm not an engine person, but Unreal Engine 4 looked like questionable content to the nth degree when it first came out. That lava looked like jello. Unreal Engine 5 does look impressive with this lighting and everything, and I hope it's easier to use and stuff. But looking at that Square Enix presentation and looking at the Luminous engine, I'm like, ooh, this looks so much better.
I'm trying to find it because Jesse mentioned it in our Twitch chat just now. Epic is reportedly losing hundreds of millions a year right now, trying to get their store into people's mind share.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that they are kind of in the red when it comes to that, but I don't know the overall details of it. But I mean, with the fact that Sony sank 200 million into a $1 billion whatever is going on right now with Epic Games. I
Yeah.
mean, woof.
Hey, Nintendo got investments with other companies, and that's paying out for them.
Yeah,
So, like, um, and yeah, if they are losing money because of I think that's money that they're not getting
hmm
uh
yeah.
from Epic Games, and the way that they're doing their practices and stuff, and trying to get exclusives and indies to get
I
into their system.
I
Uh,
can't seem to find like the actual definitive article that talks about their losses right now. I can't find it anywhere. It's
yeah,
I know articles are out there, but I can't find it. So if anybody that's watching the chat right now actually has a link that I can read real quickly, please put it in the chat so I can check it out real quickly. Um, yeah,
yeah. So that's just my. Hopefully, Unreal 5 does good for Sony. Um, I kind of feel I kind of worry about that in a sense, because I'm like, Guerrilla Games got a great engine. Why can't you guys save money and use their engine around the company? Um,
okay,
like
here's something from PC Gamer. Epic will lose over 300 million on Epic Game Store exclusives, and they're fine with that. Let me. Okay. To take on Steam, Epic Games has spent the past 2 years. Oh, this article is on. This article is done eight days ago by PC Gamer, by the way.
okay,
To take on Steam, Epic Games has spent the past 2 years shoveling Fortnite money into the Epic Game Store, making over 100,000 exclusive. Oh, I'm sorry, 100 exclusivity deals. I don't know where I got 100,000 from, and giving away free games every week. We knew Epic was spending a lot of cash to get customers onto its store, but didn't have many specifics until now. Thanks to Epic's big legal fight with Apple, we learned this week that Epic committed around $444 million to the EGS, Epic Game Store, exclusivity deals in 2020 alone. More precisely, that's 444 million on minimum guarantees for games that release on the Epic Game Store but stay off of Steam for a year. A minimum guarantee is just another way to refer to an advance. It means that Epic guarantees the publisher a certain amount of money, whether or not their game actually sells enough to cover it. For example, Epic put down 10.45 million for Control. In the end of the year report, Epic said that players spent 700 million on the Epic Game Store in 2020, but third-party game sales only accounted for 265 million of that spending. Mm. All right. Now, on the flip side, Apple says that Epic lost 181 million on the Epic Game Store in 2019, projected a loss of 273 million last year, and projects another loss of 139 million this year. Okay, so there we go. There's some numbers for you guys out there. Um, I'll be honest with you. Like math used to be my thing, but now I'm like super rusty in math and stuff like that. So I
mhm.
know all I can say for sure is that I can agree that they are losing money, but we don't know what's lucrative. And you know what? We live in a day and age where everybody takes a loss on their business decisions. I mean, look at the new consoles are out and they're taking a loss. Is Nintendo actually making all their is the Switch pure profit for them yet? I don't think it
Yes,
is. It's pure profit now.
yep. It's been pure profit ever since it came out.
No way.
Yeah. Every time Nintendo releases a system, they have always been pure profit. Even
Wait.
Wii U,
That can't be right because
yep,
like it's not pure profit right now for them
it is
with their
pure.
cartridge sales.
It is pure profit off of their console sales. Every time Nintendo has put out a console sale or even handheld, it has been pure profit
Okay.
because of because their tech, because the tech that they use, yes, it's lower power tech, but
Oh,
it's
you know what?
still
Oh, I
pure.
keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pure
So
profit. I keep forgetting about
and
that.
right, and so that's why Microsoft and Sony, when it like, yeah, we sold all of this stuff. I'm like, you guys are still at a loss. It takes them 3 to 4 plus years to make that money back to be even, because that's what happened with PS3, and that's what happened to 360. That they were losing, even though they had this big tech and stuff, they were losing still on the sales with their consoles. They so big, but they didn't catch up to Nintendo to almost 3 or 4 years in their whole life cycle of each console.
Mhm.
Even when PS3 Slim was out, Sony was still struggling. They struggled with PS4 and Xbox One for a
Mhm.
bit.
Mhm.
And Nintendo, every time Nintendo had out a console, they had made money on their consoles because the tech was low.
Okay.
So
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I feel like I feel like I, f-
Go ahead, say it.
I feel like the fact that, well, I also know it's the Nintendo effect. I feel like the fact that, because I did the research, apparently the reason why games are as expensive as they are on the Switch, and they price drop, is because Nintendo is still like working on the patents for the cartridge technology, and that's why like it's like a cold day in hell when like first party titles particularly go
Mm-hmm.
on sale. But I've noticed that a lot of third party titles are still stuck somewhere above 30 or $40, and it's kind of weird. And that's what made me do the research. And it was like, oh, like something's going on with the cartridge patent, for the games themselves. That's why I was thinking that Nintendo might still be taking a loss. But if it's pure profit right now for the console, I mean, hey, I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah, I think that, and that's why when people talk about Nintendo not selling like a forget, that's why, and we'll be talking a little bit about this on Power Block in 2 weeks about pricing and stuff. You kind of see why um when reports of a game sell so well on the Nintendo console over everything else, is because they're recouping a lot of that profit that they lost
Mm-hmm.
and everything. When limited run stuff put a game out for PS4 and Switch is the first one to sell out before PS4 with copies of games.
Well, I know why. I know why. It's if you look at what limited run games does, like it
Hmm.
all fits more of a portable handheld model. I mean, limited run games, honestly, like the games they pick up are games that everybody's just like, man, I wish I could really play this on the go. I mean, and I'm not saying that to target it, but let's
Hmm.
look at some of the limited run games titles, for example. Um, limited run
Streets of
games.
Rage, Streets of Rage 4, like uh, even though that was on Game Pass, a lot of people bought the Switch version, and everybody was just like, "We know I mean, the Switch version for physical and stuff." I mean, people bought it digitally because of limited run and the production and having problems with it. But it's just like Scott Pilgrim, I think Scott
Yep.
Pilgrim was limited run.
Yeah,
You know,
Scott Pilgrim's limited run. Yeah, it is.
yeah, a lot of people every time they do a limited run version of a Switch game, unless they got extra copies, that Switch version will go out quickly. And I think it's because of the popularity of indies, of an indie title finally getting their physical version, and people still have that mentality to. And I keep saying this, that if you don't buy that game on a Nintendo platform when it releases, you are going to regret it because you're not going to be able to find it in years, and anyone who else is selling it is going to jack up the price.
You mean like limited run games does, for example? Because like I had to slow my roll on Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I had to slow my roll on that because I was like, hold on, like I'm being stupid right now. Like I can spend $15 for this game, or I have to wait until it hits shelves unless I pre-ordered it off of limited run games and get what was it, 40, $50?
Yeah, I think 40. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Us gamers are weird. We're weird, and I'm not going to call anybody crazy for however they want to consume their gaming
Hmm.
needs. If you want physical copies, yes, there is a way to get physical copies, but the fact that the cartridges are so expensive, which drives up the price, because because let's look at this for example. Like I'm going to use Monster Hunter. What was the Monster Hunter Generations game on the Switch? I have it, and I don't know why. I know why it's like stuck in my brain. Is not like I don't know the
Oh,
exact name of it.
Generation Ultimate.
Generations Ultimate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. The game came out in the cartridge form, right?
Hmm.
At $60. It came out at $60. It came out digital at $60. And now there are some days and this is not even on. Actually, now there are days when like the game. Actually, that cartridge is cheaper right now to buy. Like it's dropped to $30, and you can buy that $30 practically brand new at any store in cartridge
Target.
form. But the digital sales are still $60, and usually it's the reverse. Like usually the digital sales go down, and the cartridge price stays up. It's kind of
Yes.
weird. It's kind of weird. So, and but What was I trying to say here? Okay. Oh yeah, the patents for the Switch cartridges are usually what drives the price of the games high. So I kind of like killed my own argument with Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate just now. But normally what happens is like limited run games they have to sell at this inflated price, even though like the game itself is on the store in a digital format at a cheaper or the more introductory price and stuff like that. That was what I was trying to say because, for example, when I first bought my Switch, I bought Wargroove. I bought a digital code for Wargroove for $15. I think it's 15. I think it's still $15.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
but the cartridge version of Wargroove is $40, and it's just kind of it's kind of wonky. But like I said, I'm not gonna really trash talk anybody for how they want to consume their games because there are days when I'm like I'd rather have a physical copy of this game versus digital because sometimes like in the case of Scott Pilgrim, licensing problems came up
Yeah, yeah.
and that caused the game to get pulled from the digital stores that it was on, the marketplaces that it was on, and stuff like that. So I get it. There's still a part of me that I may just wind up buying Scott Pilgrim physical, so I can finally like keep this copy of this game for forever until like my Switch dies or something.
I'm literally waiting for my copy to come in. I brought this game. Now I need I need my copy. And that's kind of going to be the thing with Streets of Rage. Like this Ninja Turtle game that's coming out, Shredder's Revenge. Oh, what's they if .mu says that this is also getting a physical version, I don't know who's going to release it. It could be super rare games. It could be limited run games. If this thing gets a physical announcement for Nintendo, it's going to be bunkers on
Mm-hmm.
how people acquired this. Now, if they could put it in Best Buy, I'm pre-ordering. I'll go to the store and buy it. But people are going to buy that game if it gets physical copies for a Nintendo platform. Uh, and I think that's why I think digital, like I said, we're gonna talk about this on Power Block and stuff. I think that's why digital means so much to Sony and to Microsoft. Why they are still at $60 to $70 is that they gotta recoup that cost. Definitely when there's delays, the marketing for the games that they gotta do, the promotion for it and
Wait,
stuff
wait,
like that.
hang on. Wait, say that again because I think I missed something in translation. Say it again.
Oh, for the digital versions
Yeah.
being imported to Microsoft and Sony, um, was saying that they got to recoup the cost, the marketing for these games, sometimes the promotion and stuff. Like if they do like promotional deals, with like trinkets and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, like a collectors and stuff, they might be spending more money, so they got to try to recover all of that. So digital is very important to Sony and Microsoft. Nintendo, yeah, it is important also for them with their games, but like people know that if there is a physical version, people are quick to go get the physical version for Nintendo than physical versions of Microsoft and Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why even if MLB being on Game Pass is a thing, then people should MLB may be only 6 months on Game Pass. We don't know what that is. Um, Sony's still going to make that money because people are going to buy it digitally and physically. Like if there's a special deal, it's probably going to sell more digitally because people love to play the baseball game, love to play MLB The Show on PlayStation, and it has done well in sales on digitally than it does in stores. I'm still confused on why that game don't get the marketing that it deserves. It deserves. And me and Austin actually was talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just like, yeah, they showed it a lot on ESPN. I'm just like, Sony has never went hard on MLB like they are doing this year. I'm seeing this thing on Hulu. I'm seeing this thing on YouTube. I'm seeing spot ads on social media and on Facebook. Like Sony is going hard on this game. They didn't do this in past years. Like I told Austin, I'm like, I didn't even know when the game was coming out. But now that it's coming to Xbox, they're trying to recoup that cost of that game, of that development. And if they could bring people to the Sony ecosystem over Microsoft, they're going to promote this game hard.
Yep.
Microsoft is not promoting this game. Microsoft didn't give MLB no money to promote this stuff. Only thing that we know is comes on the 23rd is on Game Pass, and that's it.
Well, I think it's on. I think the shoulders. I think it rests on the shoulders of the Major League Baseball Players Association as
Hmm.
well as Sony to market this game.
Yeah,
I
and so
and and
it.
and and, and here's the other thing too, like because people don't realize this, but the reason why MLB The Show is coming multi-platform is because the Major League Baseball Players Association made a push for it.
Mhm.
In a normal world, like this game would have stayed on Sony, and Sony would have been like, "Hey, you need to buy a PlayStation
Yeah,
or
pretty
or
much.
or possibly a PC." You know, because we've got more and more Sony exclusives starting to show up on PC. Like,
You know, and I don't even. That's why I don't. That's like I said. I don't even call these games exclusive anymore.
hmm?
I don't
Yeah.
call. I just call them first party because
Well,
even.
yeah, first party is a very good way to sum it up because here's my opinion. Um, PC PC is probably the most viable platform to play any video game on, but the problem
Mhm.
is the problem is that for a lot of people it's a monetary commitment, so a lot of people
Yes.
do not have like high, not even high end, like medium grade gaming rigs to play this stuff on when it comes to PC side, and that's why we have consoles. And I'm not saying this to like make people seem like like they're peasants or anything, because
Right.
I enjoy playing my games on my PlayStation. I enjoy playing my games on my Switch. I sure as hell enjoy playing my games on the PC. You know, you know. Uh, the reason why I say that in this day and age the PC doesn't matter is because PC's kind of weird. Like PC has its own exclusives that like they honestly stay on the PC. They hardly ever come to systems, but that's because there was a gate there. It was about
Mhm.
technology. But now that we've got the SSDs, the NVMe SSDs coming out, we've got the architecture of the consoles being built more like PC systems now. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna start seeing some high powered games like Star Citizen will finally be a reality on console.
Yeah, but that depends if they stop taking everybody money and actually make a game.
Wait, what?
I said that's if they stop taking everybody's money and actually make a game.
I get what you're saying. Okay, but yeah, but I just feel like PC is the radical element here because
Mhm.
all the games come to console, and then the PC gets the ports. It's not always the other way around. Like Cyberpunk 2077, for example, based off of the crazy history that's been going on with Cyberpunk. Looks like Cyberpunk was supposed to be a PC release, and then they decided to port it to other consoles. And look at the mess we have right now.
I can I say this about so anyone on YouTube, there's a little thing called What Happened, and it's a breakdown of all the turmoil and like why games come out bad and stuff like that. They did I think he got a 30-minute or 40-minute video on Cyberpunk, and
Oh, I need to see this. I need to see
it
this.
is worth the watch. Oh, his last one was on Beyond Good and Evil, and it's good.
Beyond
It
Good and
is,
Evil, that's
yeah.
a sore subject for a lot of gamers right now.
Yeah, but and there's just a lot of stuff that I did not know. I'm like, oh wow! Like he goes through a history of it and stuff. And he of course he got a Patreon and stuff. I gotta look it up, who it is. But it's called What Happened, WHA. And then happened. And like go check it out. He got history on some movies because he did even one on the Dragon Ball movie.
Mm.
Uh, that happened and stuff. But for video games, he does a good job. And Cyberpunk is, and I was just watching of this news thing about Cyberpunk that CD Projekt Red is committed to it, so the game could sell for years. And I'm just like,
Well, hold on. God, everyone that's watching episodes of Crossroads, it always seems like I'm a cyberpunk cheerleader or a CD Project Red cheerleader. But I mean, CD Project Red doesn't release games every like 2 years. They're not Ubisoft where you see an Assassin's Creed every freaking year. They don't do that.
I
So
didn't see that game on sale like 3 weeks in
yeah,
advance.
like 3 weeks. Yeah, like it was ridiculous how fast Valhalla went, and Valhalla didn't just go on sale; it went over half off.
Yes.
Because Valhalla is a $70 game, and I kid you not, like I walked into Target and saw it on shelves in December for $30. What was even weird about this is sometimes Valhalla was on the buy two get one free sale at Target,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes it was just on its own sale. So
Oh. Okay. So what happened is the YouTube channel is Matt Muscles. So do go check that out. But yeah, like
can you?
even
Would you be able to throw it in the stream
Immortals.
chat?
Yeah. Even Immortals, it was just like,
Uh
what the
huh.
heck? This game just came out and now it's like $40. Like I got it on cheap for like the day after Christmas. I'm like, what the heck's going on
The
with
game
this?
was out for effing 2 weeks, and then it was already on sale.
Sale. It's bunkers. Uh but yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, and and here's another one. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom. That game doesn't know what price it wants to be right now. I've gone to eShop. I've gone to eShop 1 week and it's $60. I come back the next week, it's $15, if not lower. It
exactly.
doesn't know what, and this is an Ubisoft title that's published by Nintendo, and
No,
Nintendo.
no. Nintendo didn't publish this.
Oh, so
Ubisoft published it.
it's pure Ubisoft.
It's pure Ubisoft.
Uh,
Nintendo only gave them the permission to do it.
so there we go. There we go. But
So, uh,
all right, anything else we want to say about Epic Games besides congratulations to CEO Tim Sweeney?
that's all. I just can't wait. Congratulations. Hopefully, you use that money to hire more employees, bring in more diversity, and give more people jobs in this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's our show for the week.
Yes. Well, we have had multiple discussions. I will say, all topic stuff.
Well, hold on. We have
Okay.
we have a little more time. Is there a discussion you want to have right now? Like that wasn't one of our topics.
Okay, so we are looking forward to the Mortal Kombat movie that is coming this week.
Okay.
Um, and we'll probably hopefully talk about
Actually,
it.
I lost track. I lost track of it.
I just figured that it was coming out on the 23rd. I was like, oh great. Um, I think my kind of topic is that so I brought the Ask Iwata book. And it's
Mhm.
a great read. I do recommend anyone who is a gamer who loves books and stuff, or who just want to hear how Iwata did things. Um, it's a quick read. It's like 150 some pages and stuff. You'll be done with it in hours or a weekend. It's so addicting and everything. Like I learned how he got into Hal, and when he became president of how he, in I think it was 1.5 billion yen of debt that he incurred, and over time he got that debt
Wait,
under
wait, 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 wait.
control.
Under Iwata's watch,
Yeah,
it got
he
that much. It wound up in debt that bad.
it was already in
Oh, it
debt.
was already in debt. Okay, the way you explain it
Yeah.
sound like he
Oh,
ran them into
he
the ground.
no, he acquired it when they made him president of HAL Laboratories. And
Mhm.
so kind of seeing how he became CEO of, or president of Nintendo Japan and stuff, and how he handled everything and turned that company around. It's kind of interesting to see um things like that. So I do recommend people go ask Iwata. And my question is that what happens to gaming in the future when the big people, the big names that we know, once they're gone and once they leave, like how do we remember them, and how do we see that company's games in the future and stuff? Because we kind of see Nintendo, like after Iwata passed, they was trying to figure out what they could do, but we kind of see that company Iwata, when he was there, he kind of still he opened up the company to a lot of stuff, and kind of changed gaming for Nintendo in the industry. And now that we see Furukawa in as president, um they're working with Sony to make movies. They're trying to work with other developers and bring people into their ecosystem while working with others. Yes, I would love to see Metroid on Xbox and stuff. I would love to see a lot of their first party IPs on other consoles and stuff, and we may see that in the future and everything. Nintendo has been a close company, like, but once Miyamoto gone, what happens to Nintendo? Um, we see the changes that's going on with Sony and everything. What's going to happen to them in the future? Like, I kind of want to know what you think about what happens to companies when the guard changes. I should say.
Um, well, the way I look at it is if the old guard does a does a does a decent job, if not a damn good job, of mentoring, the company that leaves behind will be in good hands. That's the way I will say it. I feel like, and this all goes to like you have to take care of your own. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I basically run the IT company that I work for right now, and I try to make sure that I take care of my people. And I also like, then when I say my people, I'm talking about the employees under me and stuff, because I'm not the CEO of the company, but I'm the chief operations officer of the company now, which means that basically I'm the person that is in the overall supervisory position. There's only one other person there's only one person I answer to at this point. So I have to look at that. I have to set the example. For my people, but I also have to mentor and make sure that I'm a leader and I take care of them, because when you look at a company like EA, like sometimes not sometimes, like it look practically all the time, it looks like they're not taking care of their people and their individuals, and
Mm-hmm.
they have a high turnover. Games don't come out to the quality that us gamers would like them to be. Not even expect them to be, would like them to be, because like even for example, like a really mediocre game, if it looked like a mediocre game, we're like, hey man, like this looks like a game that we'll buy and just pass some time with, but it's not like a must-have game, and then it's even worse than what we thought. That speaks volumes and things like that. So, at companies like Nintendo, for example, with Miyamoto and some of the other bigwigs there, of course, Sony and things like that. I think it's the mentorship and the people
Mm-hmm.
that are under their belt. I mean, because at the end of the day, current developers, these are the guys that we're going to look at. We're going to look at people like Cliffy B, for example. We're going to look at people like who's the Corey Barlog. We're going to look at people like that. We're going to look at the two brothers we're going to look at the two brothers that currently run Ember Lab, which is making the upcoming Kenna Bridge of Spirits game and stuff like that. If everything goes well in all these partnerships and things like that, like this could be the future of gaming and like the landscape of gaming. We talk about Jim Ryan. We talk about the Xbox, the head of Xbox. I don't know why the names always like escape me
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer. I don't know why the names always escape me when I have to talk about them, because it's not like I don't know who these people are. They're always in my brain, but But basically, what it all boils down to is like, I think if the current heads of the company are running it in chaos, then we're probably going to see chaos. When they're
Mm-hmm.
dead and gone. When the torch gets handed over. Only in certain situations do we see that. Okay, this person who ran the company into the ground, and somebody else comes in. Like say for example, Neil Druckmann of Naughty Dog, you know, gets to be like some type of big executive within Sony, and Sony gets to a point where like they're at a complete loss. And then like when when the head steps down, or even passes away or stuff like that, like it looks like Neil Druckmann is the person that's going to wind up taking over. And let's just say, like from the chops that we've seen since he's basically become the lead at Naughty Dog, you know, he applies that method and he turns it around. I think we will see stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
People who have their heads on their shoulders correctly and things like that. Like even when the ship is sinking and they wind up stepping into leadership position, we'll see for we will see the company thrive and get back to like a state of being. Look at the guys at Platinum Games. Like these are disenfranchised people from Studio Clover from Capcom. Look at these
Yes.
guys. Capcom is probably kicking themselves in the ass every time they see sales figures for a Platinum Games game, or Shinji Mikami Studio now. You know, look at all that stuff. Hell,
Yeah,
I know Konami is pissed at themselves about Hideo Kojima.
yeah.
I know they are. Okay, I'm not gonna discount Keiji Inafune because like yeah, Mighty Number Nine left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. But
But you know what? I still love Kenji Inafune and his
yeah,
creations
the
because
father of
and
Mega Man.
right, and there's something about him that he has wisdom. He
Hmm.
has been in this game in this he has been making games for a long time. I love just the way that he does art and everything. And I think
Yeah,
when you learn about these creators and what they've been working on and stuff, you kind of gotta gotta respect that, you know. And
yeah.
a lot of I think and a lot of modern gamers don't even see. I'm like, you gotta go back and understand the history of Keiji Inufune and his work ethic and things like that and stuff. Um, and I don't. I think some of the modern gamers don't even know some of the developers of today. You know, they don't talk about Neil Druckmann or even Miyamoto, or they care about um if this isn't um if this isn't something that they know about and everything like history. I don't think modern gamers know the developers behind the scenes stuff,
They don't.
you
They
know.
don't. They don't.
They care,
They know more about the games than the developers.
right, they care
But
about the
it's also
game.
I feel like it's also our job as journalists to actually like introduce like modern gamers and future gamers into the heritage of this stuff because I mean yeah, like I mean like I saw the article about like what does Satoru Iwata mean to you. I saw that article
Yeah,
and it made me think for a while because no, I'll be honest with you, and like I'm probably gonna get the ire of a lot of Nintendo fanboys. Satoru Iwata didn't mean the same thing to me that it means to a lot of that he means to a lot
mm,
of Nintendo fans. But that's because and it's not because like whatever my thoughts and ideals and opinions are about Nintendo itself. Because when I got the news that Iwata had passed away and stuff, it did hit me. It struck me. But
yeah,
at the same time, I try not to put all these people on pedestals, if that makes sense. I don't put Miyamoto on a pedestal. I don't put Kojima on a pedestal. I don't put
yeah,
Inafune on a pedestal. I don't put Yu Suzuki or Yuji Naka on pedestals and stuff like that because they're people, But
yeah,
I can look at their contributions and what they do, and I can be romantic about that stuff,
yes,
you know.
yeah,
So don't get me wrong. Like I'm not going to hero worship Shinji Mikami. I'm not going to hero worship. I'm not going to hero worship a lot of people. I'm not hero worshiping Cory Barlog or anything like that. But like I understand like what the individuals have done, and I will always respect and do that. So that's kind of my take on that. But it is our job as journalists, for whether we're here at Boss Rush Games or we're talking about the chuckleheads of Bloomberg, or Kotaku or whatever. It's our jobs as gaming journalists and content creators because as journalists and content creators, guess what? I've said this before in conversations. We're influencers. If we get up here
yes,
every week, if we get up here week in and week out, we're streaming on platforms and stuff like that, trying to talk to you about our passions and things that we love, and we're also trying to get you into the whole environment. We are influencers and stuff like that. And
yes,
we can't influence you if we don't give you the tools and the knowledge to know about the stuff that we talk about and the
right,
things that drive our passions and stuff like that. So, my whole thing is as journalists, if we do a better job of introducing these people and not just making them like satire or whatever, or, like making them a punching bag, yeah, Randy Pitchford, he is kind of a punching bag in the gaming industry, but come on, he gave us Borderlands. He gave us Borderlands. So, we can say whatever we can about him. Yeah, like some of the stuff that he's done is
hmm
questionable content. You know,
yeah,
from a morality perspective, but at the same time, like hey, like he has a place up there, just like freaking Hideo Kojima has a place up there. I'm not saying he has the same place, but we got to educate everybody about these people, and we got to bring the good and the bad with them and stuff like that. And I'm not saying Iwata's a bad guy. I'm not even trying to say that, because I haven't read the book, so I don't know.
and
That's my take on it.
yeah, and I think just reading the book and you know posting that article, what Iwata meant to me and everything. It was just like this is. It was mostly about this was the first person, um, like a celebrity, if you want to call it that, that like just affected me because when celebrities and stuff die, sometimes I don't have that kind of connection, but I think it was just seeing him on the directs and just seeing him like when he took that 50% cut from his from him being paid and stuff and everything, his salary, so that he could have companies. I mean, so he could have employees still work at Nintendo. That's hard hitting. That like hit me
Yeah.
hard because that
Well, no, no,
shows me that.
that lets you know that even though he's an executive, he's still a human being.
Yes, and dude, and just reading in the first chapter, it gave more clarity to it because he was just like when he became president, and you guys, like I said, you got to read the book. When he became president, he started having one-on-ones with his employees,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like, wow,
That's a
him taking
leader.
that cut,
That's a
right,
leader.
and that makes it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
That just like opened my eyes and stuff. So I just that's the why I asked that question and everything. So
That's a good
yeah.
question to ask. That's a damn good question to ask. You know what? Hit us up over at Boss Rush Games. I'm sorry, Boss Rush Network at gmail.com. Like, continue that conversation, or check us out on our Boss Rush Games Discord and continue the conversation as well. That's our show for the week, though. We'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning in and listening to the Boss Rush podcast. Remember, right now it's just in a temporary spot right now because our big leader Corey Derrick is on paternity leave right now, so the various leadership in Boss Rush Games is streaming some of the bigger platforms from Boss Rush Network on their channels and their sites and stuff like that. So just be aware of that. Boss Rush Games isn't going any. Boss Rush Podcast isn't going anywhere. It'll soon be back on its own home. But yeah, congratulations, Corey, on to you and the wife on the birth of the baby boy. Well, he's 3 weeks old now, right?
Yes, he is.
Yes. Yeah. And we can't wait to have you back, man. Before we head out, here's how you can get and stay connected to just the two of us on the panel today. Ed, plug yourself.
You guys can find me on Twitter at that virtual code. You can check out Nintendo Power Block Mondays at 7:30, 8:30 p.m. Also check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, World 11 Podcast on Podbean.com. Talk the Walk and more here at Boss Rush Games. We got a lot of great articles that's out. Like I said, the indie showcase recap is up there. We got Boss Rush Banter and more. And if you guys want to become a writer, we have that info. I think
As
we're
a
going to
matter of
plug
fact,
that.
I'm about to plug. I will plug that in a moment.
Yes. You guys, we do want you guys to come out. Just to give you guys heads up, next month, for Power Block, we're going to have our Power Block Clubhouse quiz show. So be ready for that. But we are getting ready for E3. And so our individual shows are going to be getting ready to see how we're going to be covering stuff on our predictions and stuff like there. So just be ready for that. We are, even though this is going to be a digital E3, we still are going to be trying to give you guys great and fantastic content that week for E3. So yeah, check us out there and everything.
All right. And you can find me on this Twitch channel right here, twitch.tv/Exodus803. Also, you can follow me on social media at Exodus803, EXODUS803, just in case you need to know how to spell it specifically. Tuesday nights is my home for the Crossroads PlayStation podcast. Catch me every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. And then come back Wednesday again for Hunters for Hire, the Monster Hunter podcast show that me and Galatrad are doing from Nintendo Power Block. So yeah, like if you want to get your Monster Hunter fix in, definitely do that as well.
One more thing, everybody check out Arsenal X on Tuesdays. That's our recorded show, All Things by Xbox, hosted by our good friend, Mr. Phantom NX himself, Mr. Jesse Douglas,
Yeah.
the Bias Wisconsin.
And speaking of some quick shout outs, real quickly, shout out to Phantom in Excess from our chat tonight, or today, I mean, as well as Geek Bro 27, love you brother, and Hyperion Overwatch. Thanks for hanging out in the stream chat with us today. You can always come back and hang out with us in the stream chat anytime that we are online, because we would love to hear from you and talk about you and engage with you. Talk with you, and engage with you during the live shows. Now, Boss Rush Games is calling all writers. Are you passionate about video games? Do you enjoy writing? Are you hoping for a place to publish? Then you can email us at opportunities@brg@gmail.com. I know, it's a mouthful. Opportunities@brg@gmail.com. It's going up in the stream chat right now, just in case you need it. Hit us up over there and to apply. If you're curious about what our writing team is getting done, check out bossrushgames.com today. While you're over at Boss Rush Games, by the way, take a look at all the other content Boss Rush has to offer. We have various different podcast shows. We already talked about them all. We've also got Talk the Walk.
Talk the walk. And
Talk-
we also got Boss Rush Entertainment.
Yep. Check all of it out. That's it. The Boss Rush Games family wants you all to have a great weekend, a great afternoon, a great evening, whatever time you're listening to this. And as usual, go out there, play games, and be better. Take care of yourselves, and we will be back next week.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.